Guys, I really wanted to show you how to make some interesting neutrals. And right here I have our green made from phthalo blue and the yellow light. I also have put some yellow medium out. Might use that later. Okay, so I have my green here. I have my cadmium red right from the tube. I've got white and black over here. We already know from the intensity charts that when we mix the red and green together, we're going to get a beautiful sort of middle brown color, depending on how much we have of each paint. Okay, so mix, mix, mix. This is that nice Liquitex professional paint. What's great about pigmented professional paint like this is you can determine how it's going to mix much better because it does have that lovely pigment in it. Okay, so if we wanted to start with a direct brown, like the brown we created with our intensity chart earlier, we might add just a little bit more green to it. If your brushes get stuck, if you put them, you let them soak in some Murphy's oil soap for a little while, you can save a brush that's messed up. Okay, so we've got our brown now, our nice brown like we made for the chart, that middle brown color. This is actually oil paper over here. Get some actual Bristol board paper. All right. Okay, I had a little green on there, so it's showing up just a little bit. That's okay. I'm just trying to show you about mixing. Okay, great. So now, what about making neutrals? We know if we add some white to it, we're going to get, which is a tint, if we take the brown and we add the white to it. Now you can kind of see the grayness of it too. That's pretty lovely, just the way it is. It's neutral. It's a nice neutral. I'll show you what that looks like on the paper. Very pretty. But what if we mix a little bit of the black into it? Okay. Grab a brush. We mix some black into it. And it makes this gorgeous gray that's different than just our white and black gray, right? Let me mix it with a palette knife here. Maybe add a little more black to it, a little more white, so we get more paint. Okay, it's getting grayer. Add a little bit more of that brown in there. I can only make this so fast because, again, highly pigmented and takes a while to mix it. Okay. It looks pretty gray, but I bet it's different than just the regular black and white. What if I then mix a little bit of this red here, a little bit more brown in with that gray? When you have all of your colors represented, they will go together, they will harmonize. Okay, that's what this one looks like. Isn't that gorgeous? It's gotten a little bit away from neutrals ever so slightly, but still pretty neutral. It might sound funny because I was at the dentist earlier today on some nice medicine. Okay, so I'm going to add some more white in here. what happens if we add a little bit more of the green to this? What if we also go and add a little bit of the cadmium medium this time? We basically have a yellow, red, and blue palette. Added a little bit more brown, trying to keep these a little bit in the neutral territory. Neutral means that the color is not represented on the color wheel. Okay, I think I've mixed it enough. We have a baby gate separating Oscar, and now he's realized he's not exactly with me. Isn't that gorgeous? See how, let me let him in here, see if he can behave. Okay. So it's still looking pretty neutral, but it does have a little greenish. Remember, we added the green to it. Okay. What if we come over here a little bit, add a lot more white, a little bit of the black. Mix, mix, mix. One way to check your value is to take a photo with your phone, and when you go to the editing software, you can make it all black and white to see the value. All right, let's try this. Wow, isn't that gorgeous? It's really, really beautiful. If we dip over here to our phthalo blue, it's going to turquoise it up. Let's add some of that greenish, brownish neutral color. Okay, this is definitely out of the neutral category, but that's okay. I just want to show you also how compatible it makes all of these colors. Red, yellow, and blue are primary colors, but it doesn't mean they necessarily look good together. They do if they're not all the same value, if you change the saturation intensity. Okay, so here, that's that color. Pretty gorgeous. Okay, what if we take a big blotch of our brown and mix it in there? Our brown is, still pretty much of a middle value color. So if we want to make this more of a darker tone, we're adding black in to kind of get a shade going here. So now we're creating this gray that has the brown influence, but also that phthalo blue influence. You remember how strong phthalo blue is. Too bad I don't have a high chair for Oscar so he could watch us. All right. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Really pretty. Okay, so I have some of that color still on my palette knife, and I'm going to come over here where the white is. And I'm going to cool it off with a little bit of the yellow light, which is our bluer yellow. So you can warm up your neutrals, you can cool them off. You would warm them up by using the red medium perhaps, or the yellow medium. Cool them off by using a cooler warm color, like you could use a little bit of alizarin here. I don't have it out on the palette paper because I wanted to limit the amount of paints. Okay, I'm mixing, mixing, mixing. Mixing. Wow, that's pretty. It's almost like a sagey grayish green, depending on your light source. I think you can see it pretty well there, the way I have the camera angled, but anyway. All right, Let's get some more white out here. Of course, you can make all your pinks. Let me show you how to make some colors that are more in line with the colors you might see at a makeup counter. So here's the white. We've got our brown over here. We've got our red medium. So we've got the yellow medium. We can mix some of that in here. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. It's pretty peachy at this point. We could add a lot more white. Again, you can cool it off. You could make it any kind of skin tone that you wanted. You could add more brown. Okay. I'll put that down here. Oops. Okay, you see that there was some brown and green stuck to the bottom of my palette knife there. Let me put another layer on that for you. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, let's dip into more of the white over here. Yeah, we're making a, we could dip a little bit into that dark grayish blue we had, if we want to. All of these are compatible. Why are they compatible? Why will they all work together if this was a painting? Because all of the colors are in each other. Remember, we started with the green and the red. Even when we mixed the yellow medium, which is the warm yellow, we had some of that yellow light. Ah, this is gorgeous too. This is so pretty. This is my favorite, one of my favorite colors. It's sort of like stone almost. I'm just trying to make sure that when I spread it out, that's so pretty. It's a little taupey-ish. Isn't that gorgeous? So if we wanted, again, use a lot of white, right? Lots of white for something like this. If we want to warm it up, get it back to what we originally said, which was, what if we were at a makeup counter or something like that? Okay, so that's lighter now. Very pretty again. See that? Okay, so many possibilities. What if we wanted to add a little bit more red here? This is not neutral. I mean, once you can see a color that you see on a color wheel, it's no longer a true neutral. You've changed the intensity of it. I see a lot of people say, oh, I created a neutral painting or a neutral collage, but it has blue and red and yellow, so it's not really a true neutral. They just mean that they desaturated the color, I think is what they mean. Okay, so this is not a neutral, but isn't that beautiful? Sort of a pinky peach color that we made with the tans over here. And if we mix this color with this sort of grayish green over here, what happens? If we painted this across our paper and we were doing the one painting project, one of the painting projects in there where you're going to make all these different mixes, and maybe you just limit yourself to 2 colors right out the tube and try this, but really it's better if you can at least create the complement, because we know when you create the complement you get the brown. So if you go back to when we made the intensity charts, isn't that nice? Let's add more of the gray, green and the darker gray with a